Hi. We'll go for it. Welcome to the UK Flooring podcast. Podcast. You've spoken before I've introduced you. Because we always like introducing you on the podcast. We have a special guest because she's really special in so many ways. Who's on the podcast this week?
It is me again.
Oh, not you.
Yeah. You always say that every single time
I know.
that I come on here. You're like, we've got a special guest, and everyone's like, surprise, it's Sarah again.
Well, that's they roll out the red carpet. You'll be doing autographs soon.
What, like you?
No, I don't do autographs. I only do
Book signings.
Yes, book signings. But I
Good.
haven't got a book ready yet.
Good. All right. So
This week
on the UK Flooring podcast, we are going to be speaking about the flooring show. I think is a good one to start off with.
Yes, so the flooring shows, thankfully, are sponsoring the show. So if you love flooring, I should hope so, you listen to the UK Flooring podcast and not going to Harrogate, I think there's something wrong with you. There's a lot going on. So what's your ideas of what's happening? We can't reveal what our stand's going to be like. That's one thing we're not going to reveal. No. But
I think what we also need to acknowledge is we have got another couple of sponsors on board as well with it this year.
Yes.
So we have the fabulous J2 Flooring, who have come on board as main sponsors, which is really exciting because I understand that they've got some amazing new products that are going to be
new point of sale.
All coming out at Harrogate Show.
There's a lot going on at Harrogate for J2.
I keep saying the Harrogate Show because
it's the flooring show.
It's the flooring show, Harrogate. I keep saying the Harrogate Show because everybody calls it that, and in fact, I think everybody we speak to it's the Harrogate Show.
Yeah, but they don't like that.
No, they don't like that.
It's the flooring show.
Officially, the flooring show. So yeah, a massive thank you to J2 for supporting us. Going to be at the show and in the lead up to the show.
So just for a little bit of the listeners that do listen to the show. They, I believe, are releasing, now this is, quote, the best LVT product on the market is what they're releasing at the show. So if you want to see what the best one is that's ever been done, I know what the research and development that's gone into this new range has been, and the pain and the costs that's gone into this product. And they're even, I think, air freighting the sampling, because I don't think the stock comes till November.
Wow.
But they're paying for air freight to make sure this product is here. Then also their new point of sale system, which again has serious financial investment from them, and I think there's a lot of new designs as well. So that'll be, and as they sponsor the show, so we're going to paint the booth blue.
Well, is that all you're going to tell people?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So the booth will be blue, and we'll be supporting J2. So I think it's exciting.
And then obviously the UK Flooring podcast is produced by Cockrell & Co. So
is it?
Team Cockrell & Co. will be there as well.
And Team Truth Digital.
Team Truth Digital as well, because they are also supporting the show this year as well. So that's the pleasantries out of the way. Your answer to your question, I always look forward to the flooring show every year. I mean, we've been going for so many years now, and I think the conversations that are had, the collaboration that is quite apparent that takes place every year, the fun that we have, the laughter we have, the people we see, the networking opportunities, it's just...
Autographs we sign.
The autographs you sign. No. I just have people walk past me. No. We won't even go into that. No. Yeah, I think it's just a phenomenal opportunity, isn't it, for anybody that's in the flooring industry, whatever stage of life, whether you're thinking about coming into the industry, whether you're an installer, contractor, shop manager, whether you are, QS, anybody that's interested in the flooring industry, this is the one to come to, isn't it?
I think the number one tool that I was given many years ago for exhibitions or shows and things like that is actually to not just wing it, not just park your car up and go, I'm going to go and have a look around. Sit down, even if it's in your car before you go into the show, and look at who's going, look at who you want to meet. Obviously, the better thing would be to contact them before you go to the show, allocate some time for who you want to go and meet, and you can get 10 times more the value than just showing up and drinking a couple of glasses of free Prosecco and you know, and that's it. You sometimes start running around and not getting everyone you see, but if you can get some set appointments, really figure out what you want to get from it, what value it's going to bring your business, that would be that's the best thing for a trade show.
And just know that autographs are signed between 9 and 10 on the UK Flooring Podcast.
No, if you can come 8 till 9, because it's
no, that's cool. But yeah, I enjoy that, and I think from our perspective, obviously last year was our first year recording live at the show. It was a bit last minute, I think, last year, wasn't it? And we kind of threw everything together. This year has been a little bit more focused, and you know, I'm pleased to say that we are completely sold out. We are recording back to back for all 3 days. Everybody is pre-booked. We're able to give people an insight into all of those recordings. We've got some really good, interesting guest speakers. We're going to push the boundaries a little bit. We're going to be a bit disruptive. We're probably going to we're going to probably ask some questions that are at the forefront of people's minds. You want to say who we've got coming up, just to give the listeners
what you're going to have to do is in the show notes, if you keep an eye on the show notes, we'll release the schedule. So we won't say names yet. We'll tease.
Ooh.
We'll tease. So we've got some of the leading LVT manufacturers that are going to interview each other on the show.
That's going to be a good one.
And we're talking the big boys are going to interview each other. So that's interesting. They're going to take over the booth. As in, what I mean by that is 2 different companies who don't know each other. There's a lot of information going about in the market from certain, let's say, the bigger wholesalers. We are going to nail them down, ask some uncomfortable questions.
Nail them down.
Get them out. Who else we got? We've got the whole schedule's full.
The whole schedule is literally
got loads
full.
of fluffy stuff. We've got
a really nice selection of stuff. So we've got 45 45-minute full length episodes, and we've got some 15-minute mini short ones in there as well. You and I, and potentially some of the other guest hosts will be there for the full 3 days.
And I think that's what we probably want to. We want this about not to be the Tom and Sarah show. So we have got retailers interviewing some of the big boys rather than us doing it. So they'll have the standard questions, but they'll be asking the questions what they want to know in a different interviewing format. We've got Martin, our friend from MC Consulting, who will be deep diving into some interesting subjects of the industry, and that's always good crack. It's just so much.
There is
so much.
And we've even decided this year that we're actually going to stay in Harrogate rather than commute.
Yeah, we're Airbnb-ing it.
With the entire team, because I think the last few years we felt a little bit like we just get in the car, we drive down, we've got an hour there.
We've got breakfast booked.
We've even got breakfast
double breakfast in.
Double breakfast in on Monday. But yeah, I think this year we have gone all out on what we're going to be delivering and what the plans are for the show, and what that looks like. And we are going to be launching something pretty spectacular at this event.
Yes.
Which
how far are we going with this?
I think what we could say is the thing that we are launching needs to be seen by those coming to the show. This has never been seen or never been really done in this industry.
It's never been done at all.
It's never been done in this industry before. And this is
something
that we have been wanting to do, I would say, for nearly 5 years now. 5 years. Cutting the bullshit. It's probably the best way to describe it. Cutting the bullshit, getting really clear. But I can't give you any more than that.
Yeah, we can.
Go on.
Right. So we'll give it for the podcast guests because they are the important. Our existing clients already know.
Yes.
So yes, our alliance have already been told this. So the secondary, more important people are you as podcast guests. So
not guests, listeners.
Listeners, guests.
Listeners.
Same thing. 3rd of January, 2026. You need to rule that out. You need to put the roses and the Quality Street down, get over your hangover, and be in Newcastle at the Crown Plaza Hotel. If you want to do your research, it's a very nice hotel with a very nice spa. But 3rd of January 2026, we are going to do an event where you will be able to, let's say, learn everything you need to know of how to have the best 2026 possible. And I don't care if you've been in business 20 minutes or 25 years. We've got retailers already pre-booked on this event that have been in business 30 years plus with big site operations, multi-7-figure businesses. We've also got men and women in a van. So I don't care what level of business you're at. We have got confirmed bookings because we've actually taken payment today for said man in van, lady in a van, and the bigger people. So this is suitable for you guys. And then the only other thing that we're going to say, which we're going to be careful how we say it, is this event is also sponsored by Headlam PLC. And everyone might roll their eyes and think, oh, why are they sponsoring and look after it? Well, trust me, this decision hasn't been taken lightly, and we're really excited to work with Headlam. And we're going to tackle what people might be thinking or might not be thinking head on.
Because remember, at Cochrane & Co, we don't like assumptions.
Yeah,
or you never presume.
You never presume anything. You don't make any assumptions of what it is.
Unless you know the facts.
Yes. So Headlam will be there, and they're wanting to be involved in this educational piece, and that's what it is. There is no sales pitches. There's no selling you this, selling you that. It is getting really clear on how to have the best 2026 guaranteed. There is a lot more. There is a comedy act on the evening as well, so it is a day do and an evening do, but there's a lot more. We've literally tickled the surface. Now, what I want to do...
I think you've given away too much.
Well, probably. But what I want to do for the listeners is...
Now you're making me feel uncomfortable because you're giving me too much.
Well, what we're going to do is in the show notes or in a couple of posts that will go out, if people visit Cockrell & Co and go into the events section, very soon, probably by the time this podcast goes out, and it'll definitely be in the show notes. So click on that on whatever platform you're listening to it on. There is going to be a link to register an interest. So we don't need any money from you. We don't need a commitment from you. But what it will guarantee is when the tickets go on sale, 1, you will get a ridiculous discount. 2, you will get offered them first to everyone else. And 3, you can back out and go, no, it's not for me. I have to change my mind.
When you get more information.
Yeah, you'll get all the information, everything you need to know. But the premise is, if you don't come away from that day with us and not be clear on how 2026 can be.
Excited to start the year.
Yeah. So it's basically Saturday before everyone goes back. So you travel home on the Sunday, and then you Monday morning is the first day back at work. So if you want to go on the waiting list, go into the show notes. We're going to put it in big bold letters, and all we're going to ask for is your email, name, telephone number. And no, we're not going to spam you. No, we're not going to try and drop you an email, whatever it is. We're simply going to give you the opportunity to be the first. And to be brutally honest, this will sell out. And to be
you don't want to miss it.
And to be really brutally honest, these tickets will be available live at the Flooring Show. Once we get to a certain limit with the show, and we've already well past 50 tickets already gone, once we get to a certain number, the price goes up, and it's as simple as that. And that's because we don't do fluffy. We don't do this whole, oh, well, I'll do it next week. Either you come in or you're not interested. I don't really mind which one. Tell Auntie Suzanne she needs to go back home on New Year's Day. Tell her to go. But if you're serious about doing some proper business next year, this is the room you need to be in. Guaranteed.
And you can bring partners, business partners,
shop
managers, whoever you feel it would benefit as well. Because whilst we are flooring industry specific, I think a lot of the program that we deliver through Cockrell & Co is multifaceted in that the principles in which we cover are all things that actually are covered in any business and can be applied anywhere in any type of walk of life. So I think
we've already got people pre-booked out of the industry already.
I know, exactly. So I don't want it to be. I mean, yes, this is a flooring industry specific event, but if somebody wants a little breakaway and they want to husband and wife it or whatever, then that's also available as well for them. It's not just pack your bags and go single-handedly up to Newcastle for the day, because I think that can sometimes scare people.
I mean, there's a couple of people that have mentioned it. The Crowne Plaza is central Newcastle city centre. It's 2 minutes walk from the train station. Mm-hmm. It's 10 minutes drive from the airport. Mm-hmm. And or once the event's finished, Newcastle's a great place to just go and explore, go and, grab some food, or what other things. So you come up on the Friday, you can stay on the Sunday. But the key thing is the event is all day on the Saturday. Mm-hmm. We will give you some time to break and probably get changed and things like that, because there'll be a day and an evening. But yeah, so we have got some clients already booked that are bringing their missus.
And
she's going to go in the spa and go shopping, and then only come to the evening do so.
Mm-hmm.
But all at the minute, all you can do is register interest. That's all you can do. I'm afraid, unless you're in one of our private groups, then you can actually buy tickets. But they're already pre-sold.
You got to be in it to win it.
Yeah. So
well, you've just given way more than what I expected you to do. So.
Oh, I think that was enough.
Well, that's your fashion though.
What my mouth?
Yeah.
Blubber mouth here.
Blubber mouth, spilling the beans. But anyway, yes. What else is going on?
Well, we did a podcast on Morocco, but me and you have not discussed that a little bit. Where that was an interesting time where I was up in the mountains in Morocco with some of our private clients. Mm-hmm. You were in Paris with our 9-year-old, seeing Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
27,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then our 15-year-old son took it upon himself to go to Barcelona with the school.
Yeah.
And then try and jump over a banner, like a, what's it called?
Balcony.
Yeah, I was going to say barrier. You didn't jump over a balcony, and then you get a phone call at 1 a.m. Obviously, he was completely safe, but it wasn't the most sensible thing to do.
It didn't feel like that at the time, and that, I mean, it was really difficult, because obviously this was the first time that as a family we were all in completely different places, not in just the UK, but like Paris, Barcelona.
Find My iPhone looked class.
It was weird. Yeah, it was very weird. And obviously this was William's first residential away. Apart from he went to the lakes with his school in year 6, this was a bigger one of that. But yeah, I'd been to Disney for the day with Theo, and we'd just got home. It was about 12:15 at night, and we'd just gone to bed. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, I got a phone call from the school, which woke me up instantly to say there's been a serious incident in school. The thing is, the way in which you frame something in a telephone call like that is really critical, because not at any point during those first few breaths that she took was, but don't worry, he's fine. The next things that came out of her mouth were that William has jumped over the 4th floor of a balcony at his hotel. That is what she said. And I literally sat up so quickly and thought, what? I didn't even know what the next words were going to be that came out of her mouth. All I had visions of, or he's plunged to his death, or he's really seriously hurt himself, or he's broke his back, or he's done this. And then I said, but he's all right. And is he all right? And she said, oh yeah, he's absolutely fine. And I said, well, he's absolutely fine. In what do you mean in absolutely fine? He's not fine. He's not going to be fine when I actually get hold of him. Do I actually leave where I am in Paris? Do I need to get there? Do I need to go on a flight to Barcelona because it was quicker? And then she said, well, we're going to have a meeting about it tomorrow, and we may make the decision to send him home. I said, well, that's going to be not very useful, because I'm in Paris and his dad's in Morocco up Mount Toukal. I said, but we can get grandparents will be available if need be. I said, but if you feel that you need to send him home, then what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to just get on a flight and cut my trip short and get to you. But yeah, you were up this mountain, and I knew at 1 o'clock in the morning, at that same time, you were about to wake up and start summiting.
I had to get up at 2 o'clock. I think, no, we got up at 2:30. So you would have phoned me at 1:30, and I was getting up at 2:30.
So, quite rightly, I think, I made the decision that I wasn't going to tell you. I wasn't going to interrupt your holiday with this. I wasn't going to disrupt your flow of things. It completely sent me doolally for the next few days. Luckily, they didn't make the decision to send him home, and he had some sanctions imposed on him and things. But, what on earth was he even thinking to even do that? But he didn't even I mean, the way she described it as him jumping over, it wasn't that. He kind of jumped over the glass balcony, and then, like Spider-Man, took himself across 4 rooms, like horizontally across the hotel, scaling the hotel, and then jumped back over his own balcony in his own room, because that's ultimately what he was doing. He was hiding from the teachers in someone else's room. It wasn't female, by the way. It was just a group of males in the room, which could have been worse, therefore, thinking about it now. But yeah, he did. But as he jumped back over his own balcony, he jumped straight back over into his teacher. So yeah, there was no getting out of that. So yeah, that was interesting.
I think the bit I want to probably deep dive into is the bit on nothing to do with our son, but it was a good account of what happened, is the Morocco bit for me, where it was definitely the right decision not to tell me. But what I found interesting from that trip was predominantly it was our high-level mentoring clients that all attended, which wasn't really planned. It was just that's the way it is. So people have come on like quite a long journey and, like pushing themselves. So I thought it was really interesting to see. We got off the plane, we went to the accommodation, we had a bit of laugh, we had a bit of food, had a bit of relaxation. The lads went looking for a beer, couldn't find a beer, but went back, had a bit more food. And we all got an early night, and then all got up and ready to sort of go. And everyone was in really good spirits, everyone chatting, lots of chats about flooring. So it was like a bit of a jolly boys outing, really, at the time. Then we climbed up to the sort of, I'm going to call it base camp, or the I can't remember what it's called, very posh hut. Come back to me. Basically where you stay before you summit. And we were shown our room when we got there. Refuge is the word I was looking for. When we got to the refuge, we turned up and we were told it was interesting. So you can imagine like a really crap 1-star hotel.
Like hostel?
Yeah, hostel. And we had this bunk bed that had 10 beds across the top and 10 beds along the bottom. So all these grown men, sleeping bags, you literally had 4 inches between the next person. She had like literally Florian retail massacre all in bed together. But there was no whinging. There was no like, oh, what about this? We were here to get a job done.
Do I not get my own room?
Do I not get my own room? Yes, you don't want to be sleeping with, I don't know,
one of your competitors.
Yeah, one of your competitors or someone that does the same stuff. But everyone, really good morale. We had a great evening meal. We all went to bed about 10 o'clock. No one whinged. I think obviously there was some snoring going on. Some of us had earplugs in, etc. And then we got up at 2:30, 3:15. Breakfast, I think we had about 3:30, something like that. 3:10. And then we were outside ready to go at 4:15 to summit. And there was this just air of quietness where everyone had this job to do. So I think we were about 2,300 meters up. So we had to climb vertically up on a track, but very steep for, I think it was 3 hours. 3 hours to get to the summit, flat out. And I mean, the guys we took out whingers, but everyone just got their head down and got amongst it. And I think what I correlated with that is, business isn't easy. Running, a successful flying business isn't easy. But these guys get the head down when things get hard, And it was really interesting to see the lack of
excuses.
There was just nothing. Everyone was there to support each other. So if anyone fell behind, someone grabbed them. If someone was in front, they'd hold back. If, someone wanted some water out of the bag, they were getting it. And it was very, very supportive. And it wasn't like a shoulder rubbing exercise, but that's what it kind of like. We were there to get a job done together. We had access to doing a fast route and a slow route, because we had 3 guides with us. We didn't take that. We did it as a team. And I think it was down to the altitude. And I think it was really interesting to see when we summited about 7:10 in the morning. About 5 or 6 of us, got quite emotional. People were ringing the wives, the husbands, or not husbands, wives, because it's all male group, or just sending text messages. It was as if we had this epiphany, but it was like being on Mars. It was mad. The oxygen you could just about feel. And I think it was a combination of lack of sleep, oxygen, and elation of that we've come to do a job. But then it was quite apparent that it was quite funny that we had to then come back down, which wasn't an easy task. But then we had to do about a 20k walk to get back to the village. And again, it was just interesting to see that I'd sold this as a cultural trip.
It's not really cultural.
And it turned into...
Well, it was cultural. You had a bit of culture.
We had a great amount of culture, but it was literally meant to be it wasn't meant to be a challenge event. It was meant to be like a mediocre, but it turned into quite tasty. So probably, excluding some of the family holidays, but probably I think putting all family holidays to one side is probably the best trip I've been on.
Oh, you had to be careful then, didn't you?
I did.
When you saying that?
No, but when you look at all the trips I've done, just the food, the atmosphere, the team that did it. And I think it was really interesting to see how all these people had progressed so much in business, and taking on Toucal has made an impact on that, which people look at it on Insta and look at it on LinkedIn and they're like, how climbing Mount Toucal was going to make an impact. But the guys have got big resilience, and we've got clients with low states of resilience, or certainly when they start, and they build up to this, they build up and they fail, and then they get back up. But these guys didn't fail. We were there to get a job done. But the whole thing from food, and it was mad. I'll keep mentioning the food.
But what's really weird for me as an outsider looking at that is that there was a picture sent to me of all of you at the top of Mount Toucal with the Cochrane Corps flag and stuff, and it actually made me quite emotional looking at it, because when I looked at it, I was like, Christ, every I've got one of the most important people up there. Yourself was stood up there, but
was that one of the clients?
No, but then surrounded by the people that I've worked with one-to-one for the last 2 or 3, in some cases 3 years. And it was really for me, it was really touching and quite emotional to see that as well, because I've seen some of these guys at some of their lowest points as well. And then seeing them all together, come together and experience that together as one. And know that we've facilitated that, know that we've helped them with that result. Just that, I think that's why I got emotional seeing it as well, was just, being able to see that and be part of that experience, even though from afar was brilliant. It's not certainly something that I wanted, I'd want to do myself. But yeah, I get so much from that myself, just even being there with it. But you can certainly see the difference in the type of, the mindset of those individuals, and what that looks like is just something we've never had or experienced in this industry. And I think, it just shines a light on, this is the reason why we created what we do, and why we will continue to voice the education and learning and being part of something, collaborating with others, working with others instead of working against them. It just pays dividends. It's just, and I suppose that's what the podcast is about as well. It's about, listening to what other people's experiences are, understanding the behind the scenes for things, because ordinarily you wouldn't know these things. You don't have the ability for most people to have a conversation with some of the leading names and leading brands that we've been able to here, to give people an insight into that. And I think that's what I'm really excited about with Cochrane & Co, and how we will continue to try and make that better.
I've got a secret for you.
What's that?
So as I said, we planned this cultural trip to Morocco. We were sat in that cafe in Turkey, and I said, wouldn't it be good just to take some clients on board? We can bring them to Turkey and have a R&R, and then then I got talking to Orange John, our in-house legend that leads us up mountains to do challenge. And he said, well, we could go to Morocco. I went, oh, that sounds cultural. So that's how the Morocco trip, put out. Who wants in? I'm in. Sold out straight away. And then when we do challenge events, we like to have a flag, for a bit of PR. So we had all this thing about ordering a flag. It hadn't come, and it came on the last day before. So there was all me. Well, I don't even know if it was my fault or not, but either way, the flag hadn't come. And I'm like, I need this flag to go. I must have this flag. But the flag came. And the bit for me on the trip was hilarious. So you come around the corner and you're about 120 metres off the summit and you can see it. But it's like, that's quite steep to get up there. So my bum was twitching. And
I think you're going to fall to your death.
So I had a bit of vertigo, and I think again, altitude sickness as well. Just a touch, it wasn't bad at all. But I'm a little bit emotional. I'm feeling dizzy as hell, right? But then what's going through my mind is, I've literally been through heaven and hell getting this bloody flag, and the flag was in my bag. So I put myself in this position where I'm leading a group that, I'm, the top G, that, I'm here to say we're doing something hard, guys. So that was one.
You're a quivering wreck.
Right? I'm not feeling great, if I'm honest. And I just sort of used some sort of coaching methods that coaches in the past have used to help me, and sort of put the options in front of me. And the options are, I stop and put my bum down and give them the flag and just sit here and wait for them to come back. That's option one. And that's what I 100% wanted to do.
Right.
And I just can't. And the thing that was dragging me up was not the clients.
Was the flag.
It was the bloody flag, because I'm like, this photograph I've committed to do with the flag at the top.
Imagine.
I wasn't in the flag photo. I could never. Oh, look, we went to Morocco. Where's Tom? Oh, well, what happened was he sat and just waited for us a little bit. I was like, I can't. I feel so. What I had to do was, I can't remember who was in front of me. It was maybe Johnny Borthwick, but what I had to do was just focus on the person in front of me's boots. So because every time I looked up, I went dizzy. So I thought, well, if I look down, I'm not dizzy. And really strangely, I did this for probably 40 minutes looking at these bloody boots going up. And we climbed and climbed and climbed. And then as you get to the top, it opens out like Mars. It's mad. Yeah. So you can't see any of the big drops. So the dizziness, so you put your head up and it's like, oh wow, we're at the top.
Yeah.
Best decision I've ever made, because I've got my flag, I've got my picture. But yeah, honestly, but I think that's the training that you do to do things hard, is knowing how to deal with it when things get hard. Not like, oh shit, I'm going to fall to bits, because I was not far off being in a puddle.
Let's talk about this a little bit more then, because I think this is really useful, right? Let's also give an example of something else that you had an issue with a few years ago. A few years ago, when you ended up having to go and take on Via Ferrata by yourself.
Oh yeah. Well, don't do anything you wouldn't do yourself. Yeah.
Well, exactly that. So there's your story.
Well, that was on the journey. I
know that's part of the journey, but this is also going to give people context on how long this actually takes to. It's not just a case of wake up one morning and go, oh, do you know what? I'm going to go and climb Mount Toucal, or I'm going to do this really hard thing. It's years and years of like coaching and training and experience and getting back up again, and that's what the most important thing is. It's not a magic wand.
Well, I think one of my sort of core beliefs is. Don't do anything you wouldn't do yourself. Yes, you might not want to do it again, but something you haven't mastered yourself, at least if you know how to do that, is always a good thing, which I advise people with sales and marketing, to at least know how to do it, not just let people take money from you and not understand it. But doing the difficult things, I've been caught up a couple of times. One, jumping off a platform where someone said, have you done this? And I was like, no. Well, I best go and do it then. So that dropped me right in it. And then the Via Ferrata, I was leading a group of girls. And then I realised I spoke to someone else that had done this sort of, let's say, rock climbing without proper ropes, but
attached to something,
kind of attached to it, but not. And then a big rope bridge with a 600-meter drop below. The guy, John, said, "Look, it's proper spicy. This you need to go and do some due diligence before you start taking a group up there." I mean, for the health and safety people, I did have, we do always have health and safety team with us, but obviously I'm the instigator of the group, so I went up there sweating.
You didn't even speak.
I couldn't even speak when I left the house. Couldn't speak when I got to the car park.
He's literally leaking sweat from your head.
And it was probably the scariest experience of my life. Got it done, got all the training, took the girls up there the week after. It was a lot easier the second time, a lot easier. But again, it's that training when something goes wrong, and consistently doing those harder things. We see bigger leaps in people's businesses. So yeah, Keswick Killer. But we've just done our charity event, haven't we?
We have, but I mean, let's just roll back at this because you just mentioned about the platform there, right? And we used to fondly name it the duck jump. The duck jump is what we used to call it.
Right.
And I am the same, so I've got a really significant phobia of heights as well. In my head is telling me it's absolutely fine, it's no problem. My body literally shuts down. It will not move. I end up like Andy Pandy, like literally my arms, my legs, nothing functions whatsoever. And I had the same experience, if you remember, and you said, you need to go and do the duck jump. And I said, well, I'm not doing it with you. Absolutely not. I'll take someone else with me. So I took someone else with me. And I was like, yeah, this is fine. I know what I'm doing. Took myself up to the top, all harnessed up and everything.
Should hope so. It hurt if you dropped off that platform without a harness on.
Well, I know. Harness was on, clip you in. Just don't look down. So, of course, the first thing you do is look down. At that point, I had no control over my body at all. My mind was saying, what the hell's wrong with you? Just jump. In the end, I backed up. The only way that I could get off that duck jump at that point was for someone to push me. And again, sometimes in business, that's what you need. You need someone just to give you a massive kick up the arse and just push you into a position of uncomfort that makes you do it anyway. And again, it's about accountability, isn't it? I've got somebody stood down there at the bottom going, you can do this. There's the accountability. But even then, even with all of that on board, it wasn't enough to make me take that step over that edge by myself. So the instructor that I was with, I said, you're going to have to push me. And she said, what? Really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to count to 3 and then I want you to push me. So I said 1,
Can I
2,
do it next time?
And she pushed me on 2, right? And it grabbed hold of me and I came down. I was like, whoa, that was amazing. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm worried about. I'm going to go and do it again. So picked myself up and I then ran back up the stairs again. I was like, this is awesome. I'll be able to do this. I mean, bearing in mind, I love like roller coasters and crazy rides and all of that stuff. I'm fine with anything like that. Took myself up, clipped myself back on, went to walk off the edge. Same thing happened again. And she didn't even say anything to me this time. She just pushed as I went. As I went to step back, she just pushed again. I was like, we've got to do this again. That being said, my mindset around heights still hasn't changed. I try to do the Via Ferrata, if you remember, and I nearly got kicked off the edge by you. I came off that pretty swiftly. That day was raining slate, and it was windy as hell. But
the gap between it is just training, and
it is exactly that.
And showing back up,
and whatever that is, it is just about the training. So, in that respect, what have you been taught over the years on how to control your own mindset, your emotional state, and your physiological state to be able to overcome difficult hurdles?
Like if we're talking about fears, like heights.
Let's talk fears.
Fears
of whatever it is.
Can we just stick with heights?
We could do, but
Well, I'll stick with heights.
Well, it depends on what happened. Like,
it sounds a bit strange if I do it with like
spiders,
or cash flow issues or something like that. But if we stick with heights, it's in the breathing. because when I started doing the training at heights, obviously I was literally flapping like a chicken or a cockerel. And
it's a really bad joke.
Yeah. And it's all in the breathing, because when you take deep breaths in and you're under stress, it lowers your heart rate. If you breathe like an absolute turnip, obviously your heart rate can get away with yourself, and that's where the dizziness comes from, I understand. So if you're taking deep breaths and control your breathing, it lowers your heart rate, which then chills you out. So most of the time with something that's absolutely petrifying, the number one thing to do is breathe. Breathe through it, and then once you've mastered that, is like the tool I use on too, Cal, is trying to defer your brain from something else. So I acknowledge that putting my head up near this ridge line, I was feeling dizzy, but when I looked down, I didn't. So then, okay, so what can I do from there? Focus on the boots in front. That reduces the dizziness. Lower your heart rate and move forward, not stop, because my body just said, stop. I'm sitting down here.
Sitting down.
Yeah. And just push through that pain. Like, as in your instance there, when you're looking down, when I've done the duck jump, they clip me in and I literally run off the edge. I'm like I'm like an Olympic champion. I don't even speak. I just run straight off the edge, because I know if I stop, I go wibbly wobbly. But I know if I just go straight off, and I'm definitely clipped in, just check it. And so I don't pause.
Imagine if you didn't actually clip in properly, just ran off the edge.
I check it, and then that's it. If I stop walking when I, basically for the uninitiated, this is pretty much like a bungee jump that isn't that you still set up straight with rather than being on your legs, but it's pretty much a bungee jump that catches you.
Remember this thing with heights. I mean, we even have the same thing with. You remember we went to Brecon for your 40th, and we went up Pen y Fan. Yeah. And it got a little bit tasty as we got to the top.
We climbed the wrong mountain, but yeah.
We climbed up the wrong side, and it was like a sheer vertical drop up the side of Pen y Fan.
Yeah.
And
but that was breathing as well.
That was breathing. And you just had to breathe me through that, because I did the same thing. I literally dropped to my knees and was crawling up the mountainside. Swearing all sorts of weird and wonderful things at you as usual, dragging me up this bloody mountain. And I think even at the top it was that windy. It was that windy that we had to walk backwards to the summit stone, didn't we? Because we didn't want to be blown off the side of the mountain. But yeah, you've just got to do it anyway, haven't you?
I think in the business bit is doing it anyway. Push through that really uncomfortableness and being understanding where your limits are, but not the limits that you think you've got. And that's probably what I was alluding to before about this, the Keswick Killer. For the, again, uninitiated, we do one charity event every year. We do one charity event that means something to one of our clients. Last year was brain tumour. Mark's mum has a brain tumour, and then Elaine's dad died of a brain tumour. So that was last year. This year, James and Alex have had stillborn. I can't even speak. It's a podcast. I can't even speak. Babies. So they've died, unfortunately, upon birth. So these charity events are not just for Insta. They actually mean things to our members. We raised $4,000, just on $4,000. I think it's just 39. Yeah, 39, something like that. And if anyone's climbed a mountain before, 868 meters is a relatively big mountain. Scafell's like 1,000, so it's only a couple hundred meters off that, or 150 off that. And we decided to assault it 5 times. And we started at 6 in the morning, and we finished at just 20 to 8 at night. Yeah. And we had very limited lunch breaks and breaks.
Stop breaks altogether, really.
And there was many points on that where people just said, I'm out, and it wasn't about being out. It's pushing past that and figuring out where that I'm out is, and realising there's 40% kicking about somewhere.
Yeah, but even the people that said, I'm out here, they just got back in and they did it again.
Got it done,
they just get it done. They just try again and they just keep going. And I think that's just there's a certain level of resilience there, isn't there, that you just keep going no matter what.
That's what you've got to find. You've got to find the line where it's I'm out and I'm keeping going. And then that confidence is the easy bit, not the easy bit. That's what you're looking for, is you understanding where your limit is. that it's actually not there, and removing that barrier, and that can be done on a mountain.
So these are all like really big things that we're talking about here. These are like significant, fears of heights or whatever else. But in business, I speak to people on a day-to-day basis that get stuck in a rut is probably the best description for it. Not quite sure on where to move forward or how to move forward, or struggle with decision making. Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know, because I don't have it. I've lost it.
Yeah, but in the past...
Well, ego is one. I can do it myself.
Comparison to others is another.
Comparison to others. Yeah, I think that's probably in answer to your question. Yeah. Self-confidence.
Lack of clarity on the outcome, maybe, is another one.
So if you're clear where you're going and you're on a mission to build your self-confidence no matter what level of confidence you're at, and asking for help, because I don't care what level of business people are at, there's always someone that can help you. There's always someone more talented than you at X. And it's getting your head around all of those, all in one sort of sitting, and then getting amongst it. But a lot of people are very stubborn and stay stubborn. But then when these ones that break that down and ask for the help, their head falls off, because they're like, why have I been doing this for 20 years? I don't understand it.
I think that's one of the biggest learning curves that we've had as individuals, is about learning, is asking for help, and knowing where to ask for help as well. Because I think, we're not, we've been on this journey for years and years and years now, and that never stops. You're not, as I said before, you're not done. You're not done. You don't get given a golden wand. You don't come onto our Alliance program, get handed a golden wand, and then suddenly your business is in the best shape it's ever been. Surprisingly, not. That's not how it works. You got to put the work in. And you've got to make the effort and lean on those people that are in that group and in that surroundings, and ask for help when it's needed. They're the ones that get the best results. And it's the same with us. We're not immune from that as well. There are certain things that we have to make decisions on, that we maybe have external people advising for us. You've got, we've both had coaches and mentors over the years. We've still got them. You've just started with a new coach. I've actually just gone back with David Wilkinson, who's our performance coach, because
it would be a bit hypocritical if
we didn't.
We're selling coaching, mentoring, and help that we didn't have our own. It would be like slightly, because we've got to operate at that high level. Otherwise, we would look pretty much like a monk. And
there's been official mentors over the years, and there's been unofficial mentors over the years. I mean, I think one respect of my next part of my career journey, you probably won't even know this. I've not even spoken to you about this in the last couple of weeks.
It's not like we lived together.
I know, exactly. I'd be really interested in finding an unofficial mentor that was kind of maybe a little bit further on in their career than me, just to learn that little bit extra from, because I think
we've got them. I think we've got a circle of friends and colleagues that we lean on, but we do it like, what's the word? Unconsciously. It's like, we've got a blocker. What?
Who do we know?
Who do we know who can unblock this? And then we then get over it and we just move on. But some people would sit on that for like years. It's like, well, no, who do we know who can solve this for us right now? And we get them on the phone. And we quite regularly,
I mean, you've had the same thing. You've had the same thing today, haven't you? We've spoken to one of our members that obviously wasn't feeling great.
Yeah, he phoned me for one reason, and then I'm like, he sounds off here. Or I need to speak to you at some point. I'm sorry, mate, I don't do some point. Give me a time and a day. He said, I knew you were going to say that. Well, I'm not messing about. If you're not right, I couldn't give a flying winch's tit if it's 3 weeks on Thursday at 4, I'll be there. Just tell me when it is. And luckily it's 11 o'clock on Friday. Yeah. So that's when he's got some dedicated time to discuss whatever it is, and he can get on his day. But he's asked for help because, luckily my empathy levels have slightly gone up, because normally I would have spoke to him about what I'd normally spoke to him and just put the phone down. But I noticed his tone was off, and I was like, everything else all right?
And he was like, are you feeling all right? Are you tuning into people's emotional state?
I don't know what's got over me. So, that covers 2, Cal. That covers the Keswick Killer.
Covers the Flooring Show.
The Flooring Show. Covers the biggest event the flooring industry's ever seen, bar none. Have we got anything else? Got one space left on Flooring Freedom in October. That's it for this year. It's a shame. Don't even know when the next one is, Sarah. I think it's some point next year, but probably February, March. But it's not even released the dates. We're not releasing dates.
Normally, and this is why that's also a bit of a strange one. Normally, we would release next year's dates at the flooring show, but we're not even going to do that this year either. Much to my absolute shock horror, when I said to you, do you want me to schedule the dates for next year? And you said, no, I do not.
No.
So no, we're not even going to be offering that. The only thing that we've got planned is the big event on the 3rd of January.
Yeah.
And in between that, we've got plenty going on.
Oh, just a little bit.
Busiest time of year for us now, eh?
Yes.
Amazing.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
Are we done?
I think we're done. Oh, and we've also got a new team member.
We have?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sean, who's listening to this podcast, going, what's he doing? Mm-hmm. So yes, that's exciting times.
We'll do some introduction around that as well.
Yes, so when our video and social game goes up, we know who's responsible. It's certainly not me. Have I missed it? We must have missed something, Sarah. I think we've got 101 great client successes, but I think what we're probably going to do is bring them onto the podcast and do some sort of like how the year's gone. Mm-hmm. We've got people that have come off the tools completely, multiple people. I hate the ones on Facebook. Get off the tools this year and become a millionaire. It's a load of horse shit. But we've had loads of people come off the tools. Mm-hmm. We've had multiple people open second shops and new shops.
Or first shops.
And first shops. So first, second, and new shops. We have had people buy a holiday home for their mum's 60th out of their profit of the business. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's mad. We have had... What else have we had? People buying houses, obviously, dream houses. We did that.
I was going to say, I wonder if you're going to do that. Yeah.
Any other
we've had people make sure that all of their money is put to one side for corporation tax. All of their tax liabilities have then been able to invest in stocks and shares, invest in non-conventional things as well. And some have now started investing in property.
And even lower down the scale, less Instagrammable. But we've just had people getting clear and excited about the future. That's it, so they've just been running around like a turkey for the last 10 years, not knowing which direction they're going to go. And now they've got clarity on where they're heading and whatever that looks like, that's cool. If that's one holiday to Magaluf a year, or if that's just spending more time with the kids, that's also a success. The other ones look great on the old testimonials, but there's a lot that have just got more clarity. And one thing we always miss out, those relationships with the Alliance, I feel have just gone from strength to strength to strength. We've got people that genuinely know, like, and trust each other. Huge.
And even
I look forward to seeing each other. Don't look forward to seeing me anymore.
I know. We're not the stars of the show anymore. No, they're looking forward to. No, but I think that is one of the best things with that, being able to see members going and doing challenges. I mean, we've just had 2 that have just gone to Scotland to go and climb a mountain together.
Training for the Catskiller.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of people loaning each other their time so they can help each other on the tools. We've got staff being loaned to each other, tools, machinery, equipment, I would say that community now is like a massive friendship group, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant to see. And I love being part of it. I get really excited now for the quarterlies. We've got, the next quarterly is 10th of October, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got 10th of October for the next quarterly.
And then all our clients will be there on the 3rd as well. They've already bought tickets.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang. I think 90% have bought tickets and I haven't told them what they're doing. That gives you an indication of how that works. And anyone that's listening to the podcast thinking, it does sound a little bit interesting. Well, interesting, either you're going to take action or not. It's up to the individual. To start and work with us, it's 200 quid a month. That's it. And if you can't see the value in a community, getting your business on track, etc., for 200 quid, it's the wrong group for you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely wrong group for you. But But you could just keep listening to podcasts. It's free. We'll give you as much value as we can. I'm going to keep changing the questions. I'm going to massively improve every podcast one by one. But yeah, so if you're interested, give us a text. I'll send you a link. 200 quid.
Come and see us at stand Q112 in Hall Q at the Flooring Show, where we'll be recording all day, every day for the full 3 days.
Come and meet the team. If you've got website, SEO, digital stuff, Truth will be there on hand just to chat to you impartially. Anything you need, really, just come and have a chat.
We're actually next to the Fitter of the Year competition and the brand new bar in Hall Q.
The Canteen Bar.
Is it?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Apparently, yeah.
Very good.
But yeah, there's a bar.
But remember, if you are going to come and see us, if you're coming in through the main entrance, it's at least 10 to 15 minute walk right through the 3 halls. So my recommendation that I made to everybody last year was actually the quickest way to come and find us is actually to go in through I think it's the King's Road, the new King's Road entrance, straight into Hall Q. You'll see us straight in front of us.
They'll also see what we've done with
they will also see what we've done on King's Road as well.
On King's Road, yes. If you're driving down King's Road, you might see something large. That's all I'll say. Yeah, we've made a presence at on that entrance. We'll be serving water, pop, probably tea and coffee for all the people that show remote interest or that will want an autograph. No, in all seriousness, if you come and see us at the show, we will have complimentary chats, conversations. We'd love to hear from you because you are the oxygen to the show. So I'm done, Sarah. I'm out.
Me too. Let's go.
That's it. Thank you for listening, as always. And on the platform you're listening to, please push the follow, please push the subscribe. It massages my ego and helps us get better sponsorship. So,
well, it does. But the other thing that you always forget with this is that you need to rate the show.
Rate the show.
You need to rate it.
Only 5 though. We only want 5 stars.
5 stars on every single platform, please. Let's bump it up there because the more bumps we get up there, the more people will be able to have access to this, and just tell your friends, family, whoever you want to do. Get them to listen to the show and let us know what you think.
Cool. Thanks, Sarah.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
How long was that, Sean?